My friend
You'll
has
never
a
know.
lamp like that. He's got a picture of me on the inside of the lamp. So when he goes to bed, he can look at the light and he sees me, but no one else in the room will see it unless they're also in the bed.
I
Are you
I
just like, are you beloved by everybody, Greg? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know if
Everyone
it's
just.
a matter of love. I think it's just I must feel like a fact in some people's lives enough that they feel like they have to put up with me.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll
Oh,
start the
gosh.
show.
should we restart the show? Okay, right.
Wait, are we restarting?
No,
No, that's all
I'll
golden banter.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll
I
we'll,
love
we'll
golden
include the
banter.
bit about Greg and the lampshade. So hello guys, welcome to another episode of Bulletin Broadcast. I am your guest host. I'm your host. Ben.
Host
That was
is what
weird.
you are.
That
I
was
like
weird.
guest host.
I tried to roll into the intro and it didn't. I didn't like it. No,
It didn't work.
no.
No, you were too
So,
formal, and then
yes.
you made yourself the guest rather
Yes,
than the host.
I'm the guest. Yes,
Yeah,
this isn't my
our
podcast.
welcome guest.
I'm not responsible for anything that's said in this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But
You're the
isn't
guest.
this your website though? I think you are responsible for anything.
That's questionable. So I am joined, as always, by Greg
Hello.
and Mr. Marriage himself, Jared.
Mr. Yes, I'm back, and yes, I'm a married man now.
He is
Wow.
indeed. He was off doing the honeymoonings and the celebratories,
Yep.
but
I was
he is
doing all
back.
that. Now I'm back, and I'm ready as ever.
And you picked like the least exciting week to come back to the podcast as well.
Yep. I did it on purpose. I was like, no news, I'm coming back.
Well, he knows it's an easy week because Jared
Yeah,
is
that's-
inherently a skiver.
I'm just very lazy, so I was picking the deadest week I could possibly pick, and that's when I came back.
You fucking, I mean, you nailed it, man. You absolutely fucking nailed it.
Yeah, you did. You nailed it. We cleared up all of E3 last week, or 2 weeks ago now.
I saw that, and I watched it too. I was very heartfelt about the intro, about me not being there, so thank you.
And it was quite off without you as well. We missed you deeply.
You just need your token American in there to balance it all out.
Yeah, you're like you're the excitement. You're our sugar, and me and Ben are shake.
Sure, I'll take
Oh.
that.
Gosh, Ben's just cut from the call. Oh no. I don't know what this means for the show now.
So, Greg, you were talking about that the petition for Far Cry 5. Were you talking about that?
Well, he's the host, so I don't know what the plan is now. I guess Ben.
Are you back?
Ben. Ben?
We've lost him. He's
Fuck.
gone.
Ben.
Well, I mean, we still have audio, so I guess we could just continue talking.
Oh no, he's
Gone again.
Well, we've got our audio, so theoretically maybe. I don't know how he syncs everyone's audio up. I presume he can still sync it. We might find
Okay.
Ben.
Can you hear me?
Ben. Ben.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
We
you,
lost
Ben.
we lost you for a second.
Oh, thank
Oh
God.
god, that was scary. We didn't know what to do.
Okay, right. So, as I was saying,
Do you think that'll all keep? That's all fine, yeah?
I already started. I brought up the whole Far Cry 5 thing, so we're good. We can keep it going.
so yeah, the petition.
The petition,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, the petition.
It
So a
needs
few weeks ago-
250 people before it goes to Ubisoft.
It does. So a few weeks ago, when Far Cry 5 the trailer came out, this was quite a while now, actually about a month or so, a petition came up in protest of the Far Cry 5 trailer saying cancel Far Cry 5. And I don't know how much detail we want to go into it. I talked about it last show because I wanted to go into detail then. But as I told these two, I read it before the show and I just found myself going from excited to take the piss out of it to finding myself quite sad. Because it's a really depressing thing to read that this person
It's
genuinely
very
holds these views.
depressing.
It can't
Yeah, and
be genuine, man. It has to be a fucking troll. It has to be.
So I found this little part in here that I just want to read just for this. So it says, if you insist on making the villains American Christians, consider mixing the races a bit, not to target white people exclusively. So throw in some blacks and Mexicans.
Yeah, into
There it
your
is. There you
into
go.
your white nationalist movement. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows, how accepting of the blacks the KKK were.
Well, yeah, if you look at any given KKK chapter, you'll find that below the Grand Dragon, or sometimes even the Grand Dragon of that particular chapter, may be a black man or a Mexican, because they're the ones that really hate the blacks and Mexicans the most.
I mean,
Yep, see?
this guy, he literally wants everything changed. So the key points of this petition: change the villains, alter the villains. I don't get how they are different things, but they are apparently separate points. Alter the plot, change the setting, but only for certain markets.
So scrap the whole thing and start over from scratch. I don't like any of this.
It's basically.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Change everything about your game. Change the plot, change the characters, change the setting. Literally, all the things that distinguishes this as a Far Cry game is its plot.
No, change the
character.
title. We don't even need Far Cry anymore. We'll call this something else.
It's just like, change the villains. It's not so hard, really. Just change the villains to something more realistic.
Yeah.
Islam is on the rise in America, as is the violence of inner city gangs.
That's my favorite part. Islam is on the rise in America.
Islam, not even radical Islam. Islam is
No, it's just
right.
Islam in general, because that's what you want.
Oh, I would love to see like a Blood versus Crips version of Far Cry.
There you go. We'll just have that.
What? It's actually no. You're right. I didn't even read it in that way. He literally just says Islam is on the rise in America.
Yeah, not radical Islam, just all Islam, obviously.
It's on the rise, as is violence of inner city gangs, as if to put them in the same sentence as if they're the same sort of thing. That's like saying Christianity is on the rise in America.
I don't understand this sentence, okay? Change the setting, but only for certain markets. Look, I get that anti-Americanism plays in France, and I'm not telling you to give up on potential profits due to complaints. Wouldn't want to be thought of as one of those hypocrite feminists, right?
We can tell he has pre-existing political agenda, like beliefs there.
Right, this guy wants them to make different games, right? He says here, but for America right now, anti-Americanism is out. You have to play your market. For America, change the setting to Canada.
Yeah, because
I can't.
So, you need, for America, you need Canada. For England, you need France. For France, you need England. No,
just
dude.
rebuild the game for every single region so their rival country features.
And
Which that's... Sorry, go on.
I like this ending part. It says, we Americans have so few games to call our own, and we're tired of losing them to multicultural bullshit.
What? So few games... What?
Yep.
The vast majority
you
of video
Americans
games come out of America right now.
Oh, yes.
No, obviously we have few games to call our own, guys. Very few of them.
It's not like gaming is a worldwide phenomenon or anything. It's not a worldwide hobby. Everyone knows it's only Americans that play games. Yet you have so few to call your own.
I like that idea that you want to call a game your own. Like, you look at it fondly on your shelf and go, that one's about America. It's one of my own. Just looking endearingly at Assassin's Creed 3. Just, one of my own. I also quite like the hint that, putting the setting in Canada for Americans, that's implying that Americans view Canada as an enemy, which I just don't think it's the case.
And I've always seen, Canada as being the most kind of friendly, non-violent area.
I just, I only have one thing to say about it. This sentence, yeah. We've sat through your multicultural lectures and your preachy games aimed at degenerates and what even is this word?
Miscegenators. I had Google read it to me earlier. Miscegenators. Miscegenators.
What? Miscegenators?
That means the interbreeding of people considered to be of two racial types. So basically, this person considers the worst people that are affecting games as degenerates and people who mix with other races, which immediately is a bad start to your petition.
It's like the I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
Well, the thing is,
obviously.
He's literally starting out. It's in his second sentence that he immediately degrades some people as degenerates, which is already an alarming concept on its own, and then immediately jumps out to attack mixing of races and stuff. Like,
I mean,
this is not a good start.
this is either a troll or this person is just like beyond delusional.
If you're reading this article and you're like seeing all these points and being like, yeah, that makes sense. Far Cry 5 is a video game. Please don't take it so seriously. It's a game.
Yep. And also reserve your judgment, because, I mean, I've had a look at it as well, and it looks like, I mean, well, I've sort of briefly looked into it, and I imagine the moral of the game's story will be that Americans defeat these guys who claim to be patriots when all they're doing is just hurting other Americans. Right, because they're a fringe terrorist group who are mad and just killing people.
Would that not be the point, you know? I mean, I was just reading the update, and it gets worse.
It gets worse towards the bottom. Hold on, I gotta see this.
Yeah, he does like an update in response to other people's stuff.
I was hoping to update this petition in regards to the success we're seeing in our mission. But
our mission, oh jeez.
But Change.org decided to attempt to censor this petition by refusing access. They say that they were updating their servers, but we all know the truth.
He's
a conspiracy, guys.
It's a conspiracy, man.
Yeah. You can tell what sort of person he is when he immediately assumes conspiracy on the part of Change.org, the not-for-profit organization that hosts petitions of all stripes.
I've seen a lot of claims that this petition
promotes violence.
That. Stop being morons. I was merely pointing out that the groups they target may feel slighted and revolt against them. It's just a safety concern, that's all.
I fucking read this earlier in the original post. He said something to do with the fact that if you don't change this, violence will come to you. Like, he said something like that. I can't find the exact quote.
Really?
Yeah, he said something like that. He implied that violence... Oh, that's it. In these times, you must understand that there may be some violent repercussions if you intend to follow through with your pointless criticisms, which can be construed in virtually every court of law as a threat. So he later responds to that by, as you were just saying, if you consider that a threat, then you're being a moron, basically.
He's saying about... Well, I should say, stop saying he. They are saying about how images released showing a black man at the villain's table.
Yeah, I think we can finally move towards true equality once we assure video game antagonists reflect reality.
Oh, no. I think they even made some of the enemies a little more Islamic.
Which is great news. I like to put upon him. Which is great news. Ubisoft is truly listening to gamers.
I can't do this petition anymore, guys. I fucking can't. Like, it's actually.
This is like stereotyping at its worst. Like saying, hey, these games should see those people that are stereotypically breaking the law. Those people should be represented as so in these games. So all the bad guys should be these black people or these more Islamic people.
So I said it last week, or 2 weeks ago. I'll say it again. If you consider yourself attacked by this game, you deserve to be attacked.
By this game. We're just going to throw copies of Far Cry 5 at you.
Well, no, not physically attacked. No. I would never condone violence. You deserve to be lampooned by this game, a verbal criticism of you, because if you are a terrorist, in fact, if you're a terrorist, you probably should be arrested, and that usually involves violence. But yeah, if you consider yourself to be attacked, then you are part of a very bad group of people. Don't be a terrorist.
Yeah,
that's the slogan for this podcast.
This has to be a fucking troll petition. It can't be real.
I tell you what, Ben, I used to believe in things like that, but ever since I found out My Immortal, the awful fanfic, was actually made by real people, I then thought, oh my god, the internet is full of the worst people. And I immediately thought that you can just get all stripes.
Should we just, like, move away from that fucking migraine-inducing mess?
If it makes you feel any better, all these comments at the bottom with like the Twitter is saying that this is the most hilarious thing, and if no one, it seems like, is taking it seriously.
I'm glad people aren't taking it seriously, because it shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Yes, it should not. Okay,
Okay. Next story. Next story.
let's move on before it gets out of hand.
Yeah. Okay. Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
Did you get Crash Bandicoot,
I
Ben?
haven't yet bought it, but it is on my list to buy.
How have you not bought it? Allegedly, everyone has bought it.
Because
I haven't bought it either, Greg. So
No, neither have
I unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, I have an anniversary coming up with my girlfriend, so all of my spare money is going to that.
Unfortunately, it was, yeah, no, been dating her long enough.
I know she's biting into my fucking game budget, man.
Oh,
I know.
those girls, as
I hope
they
she doesn't
want-
watch the podcast or listen to it.
yeah, she needs to realize that this is more important than any single relationship.
She wants me to get it, and I'm like, I can't. All of my money is going into our anniversary.
Oh,
But yes, it is fucking good. I've watched a lot of gameplay of it and a lot of reviews of it and stuff, and the general consensus is either, oh my god, this is brilliant, they've done such a good job, or why is this game so hard?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of
Yeah.
things like it's really difficult.
Like, Crash was always fucking difficult. It's a difficult platformer. It was never
well,
it was never a cakewalk.
I've heard that's kind of caused a story in of itself, that it's so difficult that a lot of people are having trouble and saying, well, games are always like this, and then it conjured up the old argument of, oh, well, games are always like this, games now are too dumbed down for console kiddies and all of this. Like, yeah,
I mean,
it conjured up that whole thing,
you know,
the difficulty
Crash
debate.
Bandicoot, it was never an easy game. It was always, there was a lot of precision jumping and stuff like that in Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah.
where if you missed it by the smallest amount, you died.
Hmm.
And it was never. I feel like Mario and things like that are a lot more forgiving than Crash Bandicoot was. Same as, I mean, Spyro
Well,
was
didn't
quite
you get
forgiving as
like
well.
didn't you get checkpoints in Crash Bandicoot though? Like original Mario, you had to run that all the way through, and if you
Yeah.
died, you got to start over from the
I
beginning.
mean, you had checkpoints. You did have checkpoints. I just the thing I wanted to talk about with this is that basically, the Activision CEO has said that they're experimenting with Crash, and he said that he can see there's the fan base for it, and there's people that want it to come back, and basically teasing that there might be a new Crash game coming,
Hmm.
which
It
kind
seems
of
interesting. I mean, like you
it
said,
just
it was
kind
very
of
well received.
yeah, it kind of got me thinking, like, is it going to be like the remaster Crash? And what I mean by that is it going to be this like linear platformer, or are we going to get a platformer like Ukulele where it was 3D and it was open world and all of that kind of stuff? Because I mean, to me, I prefer linear platformers like Crash and like Mario, where it's like, okay, you go from here to there and you get past everything in between.
Hmm.
How open world Ukulele was kind of put me off of it a bit.
Hmm. I don't get me wrong. I love like 3D open world platformers like that, like Banjo and Ukulele and stuff like that as well too. It's just if it would fit with Crash Bandicoot, or if they would just keep like the original formula for it as well too. Like you said, just like the linear here to there kind of gameplay.
Didn't they do it a little bit with was it Mind Over Mutant that was on the 360? There was a Crash game
I
on
didn't
the
play a lot of Crash Bandicoot. I think I played the original one. That's pretty much it.
I played a bit of. There was one on 360, and that was kind of open world, but it was
Oh, okay.
it was strange in that there was a linear map, so there was only one way to go through the world, but the world was quite open, and you could only progress from A to B in one way. There was no way to get.
But it wasn't as like kind of like the tight corridor system that Crash Bandicoot has, where it's like you're walking from here to there.
No, not at all. It was weird.
Interesting.
I feel like I prefer 2D platformers to 3D like open world platformers.
Yeah, understandable. Makes sense.
Greg boy.
I don't know if you guys know, but I am not a big fan of platformers. It's probably the genre that I really can't stand. if there is one. I've yet to play one, which is, I mean, the one I've liked the most was Super Meat Boy, and even then, that I don't have an unlimited tolerance for that one. I'm always interested in seeing one that might change my mind about things, and I try not to be closed-minded about it, but wow, I'm not keen on platformers at all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know any genre that makes me feel consistently frustrated and not like I'm having fun at all like that.
That's fair.
Aren't you a Dark Souls fan?
I am if Ozzy's there. If I'm playing it with Ozzy, it's all right. But on my own, I just sit there and think, I'm not having fun. I want Ozzy to do all the hard bits and do all the thinking and tell me where to go. Because I'm only really enjoying the team experience with him.
I agree with you. I get very upset as well if the game is overly difficult. But then once you like progress over something you were stuck on, it's such like an awesome feeling of accomplishment.
No,
once you actually get past that part.
No, this is what everyone says. They all say, "Oh, Greg, but don't you like the bit in a puzzle game or in a platformer or in Dark Souls when you finally triumphed?" And I always say no, because I always just sit there and think, that was not worth it. Time wasted. I could have been playing a game I liked for the last hour, but no, I spent the whole time attacking a spider with tits. And I get nothing out of it.
I mean, consider this. Maybe you haven't found the right platformer.
I genuinely believe that there is a right platformer out there for me, but it's hidden. And
maybe it's
the ones
Spyro.
that maybe it is Spyro.
I love Spyro. Spyro is really fun.
Well, I might like it, but all of the ones that generally get elevated high up so everyone can see them all tend to be the same sort of platformer, which is the sort that I find myself struggling to enjoy.
I mean, there was a big thing as well about this, because basically, I didn't include this in the chat, but it started off as like a German retailer, but then they pulled it down. But then a UK retailer called Base, Base.com, the website is, they had a listing for the Insane trilogy on Xbox One with a release date of December, and everyone kind of lost their shit, and they were like, "No, it's a PlayStation game. How can it be coming to Xbox One? This isn't right." I mean,
isn't right.
I mean, part of me understands that, like, the hardcore fan base has been on PlayStation this whole time, and then it's gonna go on Xbox. But from like a business standpoint, like, if people like this game, they're gonna buy it on like Xbox as well.
The thing is,
it's still more on Xbox as well.
Crash Bandicoot 3 came out in like 98 or 99, I think it was. So it's nearly 20 years old. How many people were still with PlayStation 20 years later?
Very dedicated people, Ben. Yeah. Don't step on their toes.
It's kind of like
they exist, but there are going to be those.
It's kind of like the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 thing. Like, for me, Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to go on Xbox One, but yet the entirety of the series has been on PlayStation. So unless you've been like a PlayStation fanboy and like played all the games, getting it on Xbox One is going to be literally pointless.
And I mean, as well, I mean, people are kind of like, "Oh, Sony wouldn't do this. They wouldn't allow it to get to Xbox." It's like, well, no, Sony wouldn't, but Activision are the publishers.
Activision has.
And Activision are going to want it on as many consoles as physically possible because money.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're a publisher. They want money. They want to do well. They don't give a shit about your console allegiances. They don't care. They just want some
make
money.
They're a business.
I mean, I'm probably not the best person to talk to, because I'm not an avid fan of exclusivity as it is. I don't.
Well, no, I think most people who are, let's be correct about this, most people who are rational and not morons see no point in being all tribal and exclusive with stuff.
You can look at things and you're like, okay, cool, but it's very obviously a marketing ploy to get me to buy your console over somebody else's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'll see a game that's exclusive and it's like, you can only play this on my console, so you're gonna have to buy my console if you want to play it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like the reason I chose a PS4 was because, one, all of my friends were on the PS4, and they were all upgraded to that. That was the main reason.
Yeah.
And that's usually the main reason. Like, that's why I got an Xbox, because all my friends had Xbox One.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's
But
why you play games, is to play with friends. So.
I'm not gonna lie that there were more exclusives I wanted on PS4 than on Xbox. It was never a single exclusive. Like I know people that a friend of mine he bought an Xbox One just for Gears 4. Just for
He was
Gears 4.
disappointed.
And he paid like £320 just for Gears 4.
Oh, the poor lad.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool, but what are you gonna buy now? And he was like, yeah, well, I can get Rocket League. I was like, yeah, you can, but you already have that on PS4. Well, I can get this. Okay, yeah, but you already have it on PS4.
Oh.
You can get some Cuphead going on. Cuphead.
Oh, mate, Cuphead looks fucking awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Cuphead looks amazing.
The art
Cuphead
style
looks
is
good,
awesome.
but it doesn't look 300 quid good.
It doesn't look,
Wow.
nothing
I guess
looks
that's fair.
300 quid good.
I guess that's
Except for Spider-Man.
Oh,
fair. Exactly.
see,
there
that's
it
the
is.
real question. We're talking about exclusives and that, but will you buy a PS4 just for
For
Spider-Man?
I stand by the fact that if I bought a PS4, I've long wanted to have
Yeah,
the other
I'm in
side
the
as
same
well,
boat.
because I like the look of a lot of the exclusives, including Rusty Dinosaurs, and including Last of Us, and including other things that they've produced, which I'm sure are also lovely.
I'll admit that there is a lot of good PlayStation exclusives, and I have been wanting a PlayStation for a while as well too.
Did you know why?
got an Xbox first.
It's because PlayStation are actually going first party. You know, there's not a lot of first party Xbox stuff coming out, is there really?
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that was a shot in the dark if I've ever seen one.
Ben, don't forget about Crackdown 3. That thing is gonna blow us all away.
Oh,
With its cloud, what was it? The cloud streaming or something
Cloud
like that?
processing if you're on
Cloud
multiplayer.
processing.
I mean,
Wow.
that's all well and good, but I met a dude at EGX who's actually developing software to bring that to PS4 and PC. So
Yeah,
enjoy
of
that for
course he is.
Crackdown 3 while it lasts.
It would make sense. No, I mean, I don't know. There's some games, but I do see this, especially this year. There's a lot of good PlayStation exclusives coming out.
Yes.
Yes, because they know how to be interesting. I mean, you know, I totally understand why, from a business point of view, consoles want to get exclusives, because that's the only reason they actually exist as a thing, really.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise there'd just be the one, wouldn't there?
Yeah, but there's no point in consumers being tribal and consumers being hating on other people and all of that. It's
Yeah.
just
I like
yeah.
playing fun games regardless of what console it's on.
That's right, Jared. Love people of all stripes, whether they're an Xbox or a PlayStation or a computer.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
dare we
definitely.
say it a Switch player?
No.
Okay, Ben,
No,
you better bite
no.
your tongue right there.
Everyone hates Switch players.
Hold on.
How's Arms, Jared?
Well, you know, if I bought it, it probably would be wonderful. But I didn't buy it. It looks fun. Honestly, it does look fun. And you don't always have to use motion controls. You can use a regular controller, people. It's okay.
Wow. Magic.
It is magic, but I like Mario Kart's fun.
Yeah, that game that
Mm.
wasn't definitely on the previous console.
Remember how we were talking about £300 being a waste of money?
We don't talk about that. I've given into them. I can't go back. It's too
You
late.
always give in. It's Nintendo, man. You always
It
give in
is.
to Nintendo.
And
Like, hey, we're gonna sell you this Mario Kart game that was on your last system, but now it's on this new one. I'm like, yeah, I mean that makes sense.
to be fair, long term, Switch might be a good shout, because I heard that people in the know in games media say that there is going to be a proper main Pokemon game coming to the Switch in
Yes.
development right now.
Yes, there is.
And it's not gonna be a sequel to Sun and Moon because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are already gonna be on 3DS. So it's
No,
gonna
it's its own RPG based Pokemon game, like a
I'm
proper
definitely interested.
RPG.
I mean, they have like the Pokken tournament coming, which is cool because they have like those exclusive characters that were only in like the Japanese arcade and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Need that Greninja, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah, Greninja would have been amazing.
Greninja's a good guy. I like Greninja.
Greninja's
But he would have
fucking
been perfect
awesome.
in a fighting game.
Yeah, he's like super speedy, man. Anyway,
Then I don't know. There was one of the characters that I thought didn't belong in there. I don't remember which one though.
I want to look at the
Chandelure in a fighting game.
No, absolutely Chandelure. But
No, I love Don't get me wrong. I love Chandelure as a Pokemon as well too.
Where was the hit? Was Hitmonlee Lee and Hitmonchan in there?
Nope, that's too obvious, babe.
Oh, dude, come on. Let's have a fucking ghost, but we can't have fucking the 2 original fighting Pokemon. Like, Jesus Christ.
That'd be too easy. You need like Charizard and obviously Decidueye because he's new.
Everyone knows Charizard's on that fucking Jujutsu.
Like Incineroar is like a wrestler. Why wouldn't you put Incineroar instead of Decidueye?
God damn it! Can you do fucking anything right?
Let's move on.
Anywho,
Why
right.
is Braxian in there? That's weird. Is it Braxian?
No, they didn't do Delphox, but they did Braxian.
They did Braxian, which I found strange.
Because Delphox is an awful starter.
Lucario's a good shout. Everyone likes a bit.
Yeah,
Lucario. And then they did the like the Libre Pikachu as well, and then you got regular Pikachu because you got to throw the mascot in there, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because then you don't know it's Pikachu.
I guarantee
he has a mask on. It could be anyone. It could be a Charizard under the mask. You would never know.
They're definitely trying to make money on the toy market by having Pikachu in various outfits and things.
No, how dare you? That's blasphemous.
Eat that stuff up, though.
How dare you say such a thing? How dare
Pikachu in a doctor's outfit? Sold. $500.
How dare a company
like
want to
Dr.
make
Mario.
money?
It's Dr. Pikachu. He's gonna get his own Tetris style game again.
Hey, Dr. Pikachu would be a fucking hell of a good defibrillator. That's all I'm saying.
I guess you're true. He would be useful.
More useful than Dr. Mario.
That's true.
Yeah, to be fair, Dr. Mario, he's just a plumber, right? Has he even got a degree?
I think he actually abuses his drugs more than anything else as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he was like those doctors in the 60s that gave antibiotics to everyone for everything. And now we're paying.
Yeah, because now it's an antibiotics problem on the international scale, guys.
Now all the viruses are immune.
Superbug.
Good job.
Cool.
Okay, so what is
all right, let's talk. Okay, so this service is cool. Let's talk about game sessions. So the whole point of the article was that if you're on PC, you can get a copy of Rise Son of Rome, which Greg highly recommends.
And I heard that you haven't played either.
I have not played, no.
I just beat it recently, and it's incredible. It's really short, so it's really like an easy get through as well too. It's not very long, but it's incredible.
Did you get it free with Xbox? Yeah.
Yeah, I played it because it was free last month or the month before or something.
Yeah.
And I beat it then.
I got it then, and I remember it when it was first showed, like with Xbox One originally. People were poo-pooing it and saying it's no good and it's too easy and stuff. But I played the actual game and I really loved it.
It's really fun. I mean, the combat is simplistic. It's like a 2-button hit and heavy hit and stuff like that. But the story is really good. I mean, the graphics look good for the original, the launch Xbox game and stuff like that as well too.
Yeah,
it sounds.
And it's not a long game either.
It sounds like. Did you guys ever play Viking on Xbox 360?
I bought it for 30p and plan on playing it along with many other shit games. With
It's brilliantly shit.
Yeah.
It's fun to get into. It's the same kind of thing. There's only 2 or 3 buttons for your combat, and you just walk through this battlefield of 400 people and just hack and slash and take over territory.
I think the coolest part of Rise is it has that hack and slash element, but then you have these slow-mo attacks that you do, and it's it slows time down, and you cut someone's head off, or you stab them through the chest, and adds some drama.
Right. You've sold me. I'm actually I'm gonna download this. So basically, you go and they have a piece of software that you download, like a client for PC.
Mm-hmm.
And you can play the game and get the game for free if you use their client. Now, the reason I wanted to highlight this is because I think it's really cool, because what they do is they offer basically a try before you buy service. So you can go onto their client and you can play a game, and it says here, Game Sessions offers a fresh option for gamers, letting everyone download and play a wide range of games for free on their own PC. And then you can either rent it or unlock the game to play instantly. And you can do it through Steam if you don't want to do it through their client either. So it's a cool thing.
That's where people will use it through Steam.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why with this Steam, that's how it's gonna be used.
But it's cool because there's a lot of games I look at on PC. I mean, I'm not massive on PC gaming, mainly because I don't understand the models and stuff like that. When people say, "Oh yeah, you need a," the only models I understand are the GTX range by Nvidia, and that's because basically the bigger the number, the newer the graphics card.
That's kind of how I felt
like
when they were.
A 970 isn't as good as a 1080 because 1080 is bigger.
E3 and they're showing off all the specs, and I was like, I don't know what any of that means. I mean, it sounds nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had the Xbox
mean?
One X explained to me,
is that a good thing?
and basically it's an extra 2 teraflops, which is a lot. That's a lot.
Basically, the easiest way to explain it is that you just have to think of it in graphical power, and in terms of the Xbox One X has a
I'm learning more and more. Thanks, guys.
Which is a technical term here in the UK. that is a term that is used. Yeah,
it is a technical term actually.
Okay.
If you look at any government paper, they'll use fuck tons as measurements for
how much
currency
money,
and things.
How much money will we have to pay to leave the EU? And it will just be a fuck ton. Okay,
Indeed,
right.
they'll say a fuck ton.
So it has a lot more power than the PS4 Pro, which just basically means that it can process more on-screen stuff, which means more shading and textures.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just
there's more opportunity for things to load faster and have more complicated
so
games
much,
and more complicated stuff.
But but it's just like that's obviously
everyone's
opinion
matters. That's democracy, Jared.
Even like you said, a fuck ton better. That's still just like okay. I mean, I like fun games, so whether your fun game is looks like crap or looks good, I mean, I'll play it.
I mean, right. Let's put it this way. Let's hang on. Continue to talk. I just want to see if I can look something up.
All right. Well, I have my thing to say anyway, and I think the cleverest way, because they're clearly for some moronic reason not doing enough with exclusives. I think their best way of selling the Xbox One X is to do a comprehensive package of loads of old games on the Xbox One. Like, you get your Fallouts and your Elder Scrolls special editions and stuff, and make them so much better. Like go back over them. They're probably gonna have. Well, they will have to pay all of these developers and stuff. Like, Microsoft will pay, or maybe even people will pay, although that'd be a bit dodgy. But pay them to have these extra texture things to make things way better and make things load really quickly and load really far and all of that. If they did that, they did that just right, that would sell the console, because people will say, "Whoa, all of my old game library is now worth so much." And I like because their potential
it's supposed to stand out to modern day PCs and stuff like that as well too. And I love Oh no, go ahead.
This is what I was. Sorry, go on.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just going to say that was what I was just looking into to see what it would be. So the graphics to the Xbox One X is $500. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to convert £261 into dollars. So just the graphics card to get close to competing what the Xbox One X can do. The graphics card in question is an AMD RX 480. For anyone interested who understands the models,
this is going to be
that graphics card is $355.
Oh,
you're competing with PC. Yes.
Yeah.
This for instance, this graphics card in particular is really good performance. It can do 1440p, which is pretty much 4K, almost 4K. It's VR ready, and that's a very high end. That's a very good graphics card.
Yeah,
That's
look at
close
it this
to
way.
it. So I
The
mean,
computer I've been looking to build with my brother, who's very IT inclined, for the last few months,
Yeah.
comes to around the same amount of power as the Xbox One X is.
and how much are you looking at footing the bill for that?
That'll be about 800 quid.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that my understanding is it works in the same way as the Pro, in that any Xbox One game you have will be updated with a file that lets it play in that graphic quality. That's my understanding. I'm assuming that eventually, they say it won't, but surely at some point
See, that's what
they have to stop
worrying,
making
but
games for the Xbox One and start making games for the
you can't
Xbox
play
One
for
X.
both. You can't make
Surely.
games that run for like Xbox One. Eventually, you're gonna have to focus on your new console.
No, I mean, if you have a console that has all of this graphical power, and oh my god, it's so amazing, you're going to have to eventually make a game that harnesses the full potential of that power, because
I guess I would say
otherwise
the
who's
only
going to
benefit
buy
of,
your
like,
console
having
when they've already
another,
got
like,
one they
having
can
a
play the
PC
same
is there
game?
is like a lot of PlayStation exclusives will be like PS4, PC. So there is more of that option of you can have these PlayStation exclusives and you can have these Xbox exclusives as well too. Obviously not all. Exactly, and online is free.
I mean,
So
you
if
don't
think
pay
that's
for
worth
online
extra,
either.
how many dollars that is to build a PC instead of getting the Xbox One X, and there's that.
Quick,
I Well, that's the thing. It's for people who are thinking about buying a big grand PC and are already on Xbox, I guess the whole point of this is to stop more people going on to PC and try to keep them on a familiar thing and say, oh, well, you could just get a really powerful Xbox instead of getting a really powerful PC. I don't know. It's risky because I think they're trying to play to a lot of different markets and a lot of different interests. But I don't know if people who are already on PC are going to be interested, because they're just going to be like, well, I could just buy a new
and that's like
card or whatever and make my thing perform better than that. Because a lot of people have already got their builds now.
Like it had enhanced
Yeah.
graphics and stuff like that. But people on PC were already hitting that graphics way before it was coming to console and stuff, and with all the mods and everything. And
yeah.
The people on PC who have the power to do it are still outshining even the remaster. I mean, like, all you have to do is to go on Google and type in photorealistic Skyrim, and honestly, I genuinely thought I was looking at like wallpapers that people have took of the woods and lakes and things like this. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that, like, I think what it comes down to for me is what you're going to use it for. I mean, I'm lucky that I bought my PS4 day one as an impulse buy because I knew my friends were getting one. And then for me, the next logical step was the PC. I spent £600 on the PC. Admittedly, £80 of that was the case because I wanted a particular case because I like orange. But the reason I bought that is because I was starting Games Bulletin. I needed something to write articles, I needed something to video edit, and so it made more sense to invest my money in a PC because it had more use to me.
There you go. You got just all three fronts.
And I'm
there.
lucky that I
you're
got
not
an Xbox
enjoying the glory of the Switch, but I'll tell you about that later.
No. But I think it's one of those things that, like, if I was in a situation now where I was like, do I get an Xbox? Do I get a PC? I feel like if you wasn't into PCs, you would get the Xbox One X, because putting a PC together is actually a very simple task. There's YouTube videos you can follow, and that's how I built mine. I just followed this. I think it was like a 20-minute YouTube video, and I followed it step by step, and I built my PC. It's not hard.
Nice.
It just connects together. But if somebody said to me, you can spend £800 and get a PC, but you've got to build it, make sure it runs properly, make sure your graphics card has enough power. Oh, that sounds like a lot of effort. Okay, well, spend £500 and you can get 6 teraflops of processing power. But yeah, fuck
And
it.
also,
I'll have
the
that.
glorious thing about console gaming, the one thing it's always had over PC gaming is,
Yeah.
theoretically anyway, once you have it, you're done. You don't have to do anything else complicated. The developers will keep making games for your console that will work on your console. You're not going to have like the problem where this new game comes out and it's not working on it, because it's always, you'll always have the AAA space working on your console, even if you're getting a downgraded version.
It's probably me.
But I do feel like Jared said, was it Jared or was it Craig? I think it was Craig. One of you guys was saying about they're trying to dip their hands into too many markets.
Well, I was talking about how they were trying to appeal in a lot of different directions.
Okay, I'll take that a step further and say I feel like they're dipping their hands in too many markets.
Well, that's the trouble. If they can't form a coherent message that slices into any of those markets, then they're going to find themselves just only being purchased by Xbox loyalists anyway.
And I mean, that's like I was saying, the reason my PS4 is like the fans kick up like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, well, my Xbox
I think
does
I could get a Pro.
as well, too.
I could get a Pro, like the day one but Xbox, I don't need to. And they're still make exactly. They're still making games for my console. I know it will happen eventually. They'll give me games that's like, oh, The Last of Us 2 only on PS4 Pro, and I'm like, okay, right, shit. Now they're starting to change it.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to push the whole like.
And as much as they say it is a new
gaming,
generation,
like PC, where you like upgrade every time there's a new graphics card or stuff like that as well too. That's kind of what they're trying to push, instead of like the new generation of gaming or the next gen consoles and stuff like that. It's just the upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But however you look at it, it is a new generation. You can't say, oh, here's our new console. It's a mid-generation console for $500. Like, you can't. If you have that kind of processing power, you're going to have to eventually cater for that kind of processing power, which means leaving behind
and definitely
the Xbox and the Xbox One S. It's going to have to eventually happen.
Well, that's the big question. I don't know how, because I've talked about it a few times with you guys now. I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of this, because it looks, unless they have some kind of idea up their sleeves, it looks like they're walking themselves into a trap where they're going to piss off one group of their Xbox consumers. They're either going to piss off the people who can't afford Xbox One X, or they're going to piss off the people who bought the Xbox One X who don't feel like they're getting the most out of their thing, I don't see how they're getting themselves out of this one.
I mean, unless they make two versions of the game, but then that means you're talking about two teams, because that's different coding, to code for 4K is probably different than to code for...
Which, I mean, might not always happen, but it might take away the quality out of more one of them, which most likely would be the lesser version of it.
Yeah. Exactly. The developing team, they don't have all fucking year. They're working on a lot of stuff, and they don't want to have to allocate more resources and more people towards the process of making all these individual iterations of consoles perfect.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of
they are going to end
Assassin's Creed situation. I don't remember if it was Unity or Syndicate. We had an Xbox One Assassin's Creed game coming out, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, we have this Xbox 360 version, Rogue, coming out as well, too, and you can play this one on Xbox 360, and then they both were crap.
Yeah, that was... Yeah. Whereas Rogue was technically sound; it has no heart.
Exactly. And when you're splitting your
Unity
team like
had
that
some new ideas, but was obviously a technical
projects just flop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? Is that on paper it's a drain of resources, no matter how you look at it.
Eventually,
you can't divide your resources like that and expect to get
will have to be
perfect results.
Move on and be replaced by, like you said, the new generation. Even though they're not saying it's the next generation, it's the new generation.
Yeah, it is.
This is gonna be like one of those things where you have like a brother who's like a way different age to you, like he's way older than you, and you're always told that he's your brother, but then it turns out he's your father, and they were hiding it because
like,
it's
oh,
shameful
man, you
to have
okay?
a
You need to
son
talk
when
to
you're
us
really
after this, or-
young. And
You got
it's
some
like,
shit
that's-
you need to share, Greg. Fucking.
No, it's not a real life thing for me, but that's like the plot twist, isn't it, in some TV shows where they're like, oh no, it wasn't your mum, it was your sister, and all of that. Like in Doctor Who. That happened
Well, on that
once.
note, I think we can.
I don't know why I said all of
move
that. It's half past
on.
midnight. Alright, forgive me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he
Let's move
explained it in
on.
the
There's a
beginning.
little
We
bit I
didn't
wanna-
really talk much about game sessions. You did explain it, didn't
It's
you,
basically
Ben? I'm sure you
it's
did.
basically that's the main part of it, is that it was a try before you buy, mainly to see if your PC matches the minimum specs for the game, because
There you
that's
go.
what I worry about a lot. Is that I'm like, oh, I really want this game, but can I run it? And I don't want to buy it and then not be able to run it.
Yeah.
It's
Although
kind of
Steam,
redundant.
they already...
It's
Yeah,
kind
Steam,
of
they
redundant
already
with
have
Steam
that now, don't
redundant
they?
refund. Yes. But I mean, if it's one of those things where you're like, because getting a refund's a lot of
That's
hassle.
the worst.
So
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
have to click stuff.
yeah, if you don't want to click shit,
Bring it
then
full circle.
click
Ben. Good job.
shit on game sessions and try it for free before you buy it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was reading.
Let's
this
let's talk this. I included this because I wanted to see what Jared thought of this about
Ooh.
Super
Well, this is Jared
Mario
with your
Odyssey
Nintendo
apparently
coverage.
having no game over screens.
Go on, Nintendo
Oh, I
coverage,
get a
boy.
theme song too. This is amazing. I missed this place.
Do,
Um,
do, do,
I-
do, 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 do.
I don't know. Like I was saying before, with like the original Mario games, there was no checkpoints. You had to get from A to B without dying. If you died, you had to go all the way back. And not all Mario games were extremely difficult, but some of them had their challenge to them as well too. Yeah, exactly. And Greg represented that sound perfectly. And now, and now in Super Mario Odyssey, when you die,
It
instead
wasn't
of
perfect.
having lives or running out of lives and getting a game over screen, you just run out of coins. And in all Mario games, coins are fairly present. I mean, there's a lot of coins in a game, and now instead of just doing that, you just lose coins. And I think I don't remember the exact amount of coins you lose when you die. I don't remember it being very much. Yeah.
This kind of goes to the whole play into the younger generation thing, doesn't it? Is this how? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just reading it here. It's like, so, like you said,
Except
instead of
you
being
still
game
die,
over, you
and you
would
still
lose
can get like, a
coins.
game over and stuff if you have no coins.
Like in
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Although
And
Sonic can die.
yeah, you can still get game over in Sonic. So you have lives in Mario, and then once he gets to no lives, instead of the game over, you lose coins. Until you get a life, basically. And it has the checkpoints that you were talking about, and it sounds very guided. I mean, on paper, at
Well,
least.
it says
I don't know how
says
it
right
would
here
be in
that
practice,
the
but-
developers.
Do we
it says
know
the
if this
developers
is an
explain they don't want to
optional
interrupt the player
sort
of
with the
easy
game over
mode?
screen. It's like interrupting their kind of immersion with the game with throwing a game over screen in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember like how was it GTA 3 or was it
Oh,
Liberty
wow, I wish
City when it was
5
like,
was
oh,
like
there's
that.
no loading screens in the whole game, and that was like the selling point.
Yep.
It's the it's a similar kind of thing, like, oh,
Which
you'll
is weird
never
because
be interrupted. You will
when you die, there's
always
still
be
an
playing
animation
the
of, like,
game.
your
There
coins
is
going
nothing
down,
that will
and then
stop
you
you
respawn,
playing.
so it's just
Nothing
like-
to take away from your session.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very touchy topic because I get why they're doing it from a business standpoint. I mean, the majority of people I've seen with a Switch, obviously
Really?
yourself
Interesting.
not included,
Because I
Jared,
mean,
but the
it's
majority of
been
people
like
I've
their
seen
whole
with a
like,
Switch are
marketing
younger
has
children.
been to like young adults
You know,
and stuff like
yeah,
all the commercials
like,
and everything, and it's been like
I mean,
to like a younger adult generation.
nice. It's weird. Like, I work in a pub, and people
Yeah.
come in with it. Like a family came in the other day like two parents and their kid, and their kid was on his Switch. He was just sitting there playing Mario Kart while we were waiting for the food to come over.
Oh, radical.
And
Bodacious.
it happens all the time. There's
I
like
understand that they
there's a
want
fair
this
amount
game.
of kids
Like,
that come
anybody
in
to be
playing
able to
the
pick up this
Switch.
game and have fun playing it. I mean, I get that, whether you're 25 years old or whether you're 10 or so, but I mean, I don't know, if this just doesn't take away from the difficulty of how previous Mario games were.
I don't get how.
Yeah, I never thought that.
I don't get
never
how
thought
having
that
a game
the
over
was
screen
ever just, like, it came up
interrupts
and I was like,
somebody's
wow, I
ability
hate this
to
game.
explore
Never
the
mind.
environment you've made for them.
Returning it. I never had that thought process before. I was just like, shit, I died again. I gotta get better.
Yeah,
I'm
here
gonna
we go.
wade in as the man who hates platformers.
here we go.
The first
Interesting.
time I ever played a Super Mario game, which was a few years ago, I didn't play it in my childhood. It was a few years ago. It was around a friend's house, and I got the game over thing. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you're all the way back there now. And I'm like, wait, but I have to do all of that again? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I didn't fucking enjoy it the first time round. And then I stopped playing. So that was me
I guess that's
convinced that I didn't want to play Mario ever again. I think I've only ever played it maybe the once
So,
or twice.
say for instance, you were like partway through a Mario level, yeah, on like
Yeah.
Mario Brothers 2 or whatever. If instead of dying, instead of getting game over, you lost 10 coins, but you kept your progress of the level and you were able to continue from that point onwards, do you think you would still be playing Mario today? Like, do you think you would have you think you would have enjoyed that experience?
I'd have enjoyed it more. But I must point out, I am not their target demographic in that I am someone who doesn't like platformers.
'Cause they're trying
So
to
I wouldn't
convince
buy a
you
Mario
that
game
you should
anyway.
buy
Yeah, but
But
in a weird way, you are their target demographic because
I'm a
Yeah,
potential.
I'm gonna buy it, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they don't need to convince people who enjoy Mario because they're going to buy it regardless. You are their
When
target demographic.
When it comes to the difficulty debate, I'm a huge fan of choice. I love choice. I think if they want to introduce a kind of mode that makes the game a lot easier or a lot simpler, that's obviously going to alienate a crowd that
yeah,
do not want
I
that.
agree.
Which is why I always think it's great to have a easy mode and a hard mode. I love that. I think that's an excellent system, and I wish more games, like, you know, take for example Assassin's Creed games. Fucking adore those games. I've been playing the Ezio collection for the last few weeks, and I keep sitting there wishing to myself I wish I had a hard mode. I love choice in stuff like that, and if some of these platformers had, you know, easier modes for people like me who don't respond well to this type of video game and struggle to enjoy it when it's not being frustrating, I might be more interested. But, you know, a lot of people are really against the idea of integrating more choice into these things, and it's probably true that even if they
I
had
don't know.
these
I
choicey
agree that I
options,
do like the
I'd
choice.
still be like,
being able to
I'm not gonna bother.
play this on a lower difficulty and being able to just go through it and enjoy the game, like for younger generation or something like that, or being like, this is too easy, I want some challenge to this, and being able to jump up to extreme or legendary or whatever it's called, and actually having some challenge and dying consistently. But yeah, what they want.
So basically, just when in doubt, let the gamers pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest things about Fallout 4, and it is a game that has, you know, mixed reception, but one of my favourite things about it is that they eventually integrated this really cool survival mode into it, which is the only way I play it now, which is a mode which is ridiculously difficult, but because I adore the game so much and need to be challenged by it because I know it well enough that I know all of the ways to make it easy for myself, playing it on this ridiculously hard mode is the only way I still get enjoyment out of it now.
Didn't they do that with? I remember playing that on New Vegas,
That's pretty cool.
and it was like you had to sleep
I mean,
X amount of hours,
Yeah.
and you had to have X amount of food and water, and
Mhm.
you had to balance all of your resources, like your genuine, like your day-to-day food, your day-to-day
exactly.
water.
And stuff like
It
that's
would
really
affect
fun.
how your character acted in the game.
Yeah. They did it in a way that made a bit more sense. Yeah. It is really fun for some people, but I guarantee there are people out there that if that was forced upon them in their Fallout experience, they wouldn't play it. And I completely understand why.
Well, I mean, the classic example is Dark Souls, isn't it? Really, you either enjoy getting
Yeah, like
brutally
I always
destroyed
like
by
I've seen
boss monsters
people
and
play
then
through Dark Souls
finally
and stuff, and
beating
I've
them,
always been
or you
super
don't play
interested
Dark
in them.
Souls.
Like, that looks really fun. And I played like the original Dark Souls, and I was like, wow, like the first boss, I couldn't even get there. I was like, this is awful. I'm not having fun. So I was like, oh, I'll play Lords of the Fallen, because that is like Dark Souls-esque, but it's like I would say a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I have a hard time with it, but I can actually progress. Where Dark Souls, like, I couldn't do it at all.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame, really, because when you stick with Dark Souls and you beat that boss, that's one of the best feelings of my time playing games. But it is one of those things that is very decisive. It's either you enjoy Dark Souls and you enjoy that kind of grind and farming and beating the boss, or you just don't play Dark Souls at all. There's nobody who goes, I kind of
Yeah,
enjoy
you're
this."
just weird, Greg.
Well, I do kind of enjoy it.
Yeah,
but
but you're weird though.
I don't know how much of a rarity I actually am on this. I mean, I know it's really unpopular to say that a difficulty system in Dark Souls would be a good idea, but I'm not going to lie. If there was a mode, you can make it as insulting as you like. Call it filthy
I'd be all
casual.
over that.
Can't hold a controller. Stupid mode, right? I'd play Dark Souls more. And I'd buy their DLCs. I'd buy more of their games.
And that's
I'd
why
play
I got
a lot more
Lords of
if
the
there was a
Fallen.
mode that I could play.
Again, I don't know if
and
it
feel
is
like I actually
simpler
could have
than
fun.
Dark Souls. To me, it seems that way because I've actually progressed. But it's still hard, but I can get through, which makes the game 10 times more enjoyable. When I beat one of those bosses, it's like, wow, I did this like 50 times, but I actually beat it. I didn't just continue to die another 50 times after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just comes
weird,
down to
isn't it?
taste. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just gonna say it's weird how I don't know why games don't have difficulty settings. To be honest with you,
It's because of how difficult
I can
they
tell you
are.
why with Dark Souls.
They've strived
The
on
reason
their
that they're so
difficulty.
successful and that they've captured that. They've captured that niche audience of people who love that kind of game, and if they were to abandon that and add in their little petty difficulty thing, they'd get a lot of backlash, a lot of hate, and they would lose a lot of money. So they're never going to do it, and I understand why they'll never do it from a business standpoint.
they practically did on when they announced it for April Fools. They said they were going to bring in an easy mode to Dark Souls 3 on April Fools, and there was backlash from that.
Of course it was.
It's like, really, guys, it's the 1st of April and they're talking about an easy mode in a notoriously hard game. How do you not
because
see
they built
this?
their fan base and their game off of the fact
They'll
that they're
never add in an
incredibly
easy
difficult.
mode, and that's why
Never.
I'll,
Yeah.
I mean, respect to them because they're sticking to it, and Dark Souls is probably one of the most loyal fan bases out there.
very loyal. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I mean, you have to think, when the first one came out, there was nothing else like that. There was no game as punishing as Dark Souls when it came out.
Except for Crash Bandicoot, apparently.
Crash Bandicoot is nearly on par. It wasn't quite there.
It's just everyone had forgotten about Crash Bandicoot.
But, yeah, and then, look at them now. They have this amazing lore. I mean, the lore of Dark Souls is probably better than the fucking games.
Yeah, it's really in depth.
It's crazy in depth. It's like you could
Yeah.
write. It's literally a novel's worth of lore.
Yeah. When I play it with Ozzy on my series, Getting Greg into Dark Souls on Brits and Suits, Ozzy will just be like, you see that item that you just picked up and be like, yeah. And they'd be like, well, if you look at the description, it hints towards this man having it. But actually, you found that on the body of a man that killed that
it's like
man.
the little things.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, yeah, that's cool, I guess.
That's what I
And Mozzie's
mean.
like, appreciate it with me.
It's little things like, for instance, in Dark Souls 3, you can get a weapon called Smo's Great Hammer. And Smo is actually one of the bosses from Dark Souls 1, who you slay in Dark Souls 1 as that character. And it ends up as loot
Like
in a
stuff like
chest in a castle in Dark Souls 3. And it's all related to that boss. And like the lore is rich in Dark Souls. If you ever get bored, look it up. I'm sure somebody's made a video about it or something.
Oh yeah, you've got channels dedicated to that sort of thing.
I'm looking at the time. Should we talk about the last piece, or do you want to leave it?
No, we'll talk about it briefly.
Okay. I mean, I more wanted to see what Greg said about this more than anything.
Yeah.
Halo fan game. Installation 1.
01. Yeah. I was I read this. I looked at it on the site when I was in York this weekend, and I read this whole story, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." So yeah, no, it's a fan-made game that not Bungie, sorry, 343 now have approved the creation of, as long as they're not making any money off of it. Which is basically, from what I read, it's sort of like in the sort of space between Halos 2 and 3. So it's quite like that sort of gameplay. I didn't actually get to watch the video because I was on mobile connection.
Yeah, it says
didn't have
focusing
much
on
data,
Halos 2 and
but
3.
I think the gameplay is sort of like that, isn't it?
The idea is, yes, it's supposed to be what these guys consider to be the heyday of Halo multiplayer.
Yeah.
And they kind of want to go back to that.
The design looks a lot like Halo 3's design.
No, that's awesome.
Like you said, as long as they've been given the blessing from 343, which is fucking awesome. As long as they don't make any money from it, which is fine. I mean, I would rather be able. Don't get me wrong, money's good, but at least they'll be able to make it still. You know, at least they can turn around and say, "Yeah, I made this game." Yeah. It's just,
I think the trouble is because there's such a legal mess there, and once 343 approve of it, they either have to take it in-house and say it's their property and thus they're accountable for it, which can have all sorts of problems with it, or they don't take it in-house and then their copyright claim over Halo is really weak because if another developer comes along and says, I'm making Horlo Combat Eroved, and it's like basically the exact same game, and then if 343 try to take them to court for it, they'll say, well, look, they let that game go through.
It's weird because, I mean, it's awesome that the game got made, and it's awesome they're allowed to make it, but the key point of what 343 said to them, and I mean 343, they've been transparent with them. This team who are making it, they've been transparent with 343.
Yeah.
343. They're not funding it. It's not a partnership. They've just been given the blessing. But the worrying thing is that they've been told there is no imminent legal action.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying exactly like Greg said. If somebody tried to make a Halo clone, then what would essentially happen by the seam of it is that the people making this game would receive a cease and desist, so that the existence of Installation 01 couldn't be used against 343 in a court of law as evidence for being able to make a Halo clone.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as nobody tries to make a Halo clone, you're okay to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody does, then there will more than likely be a cease and desist.
Yeah, It's understandable.
Just purely for the sake of not letting people get away with murder.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
based on the way the legal system works, that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
It's just how it works.
Well, the problem is that if that case, say for instance, somebody did make a Halo clone, and 343 allowed Installation 01 to still exist, and that was used against them, and the people won the right to make a Halo clone, that would fuck the entire gaming world as we know it. Because then don't the cases like that become evidence? So for instance, say somebody wanted to make a clone of Assassin's Creed, the case of 343 versus whoever would be used in the case of the Assassin's Creed clone as evidence for why the Assassin's Creed clone can exist.
As I understand it, that could be used as evidence, but it wouldn't necessarily be compelling evidence. It would just... It could only be used as compelling evidence when in regards to the Halo franchise, because 343 were the ones that surrendered the grip over the copyright, I suppose. I don't think that would necessarily have repercussions for the whole industry.
Really? I thought it would affect
But then
everything.
I don't have an advanced legal mind, so over to Jared.
I don't remember that.
I think we did once brand you our legal expert.
I just have all these positions I have to take care of.
We brand you expert of a lot of things. Keep up.
Yep.
That's okay.
Well, you were begging for the responsibility. You said, please make me legal
You don't need
expert.
responsibility
You
to be
can't
married.
say
Go out and be married if
anything
you're
about
responsible.
responsibility, Mr. Marriage. It doesn't work that way.
Yeet.
Good advice from Jared.
You heard it here first,
Just
folks.
the way it's actually.
Don't bother being responsible and married at the same time.
I firsthand right here.
Well, there you go. And he's got a wife, so he'd know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
excited to
let's
see
say
what
it would
this game is
cause
going to be like, though.
complications.
Like more.
It would.
Like, the
It would
multiplayer
definitely
cause
stuff
complications.
shit as well. Like the maps and everything, how that's going to work, and yeah, I would imagine.
I don't know.
Just PC.
I guess it's gonna have to be on PC only. I don't know
It
if
is
it's
PC only at the minute, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I'd give it a go. I reckon.
I mean, they said that they're in no imminent legal action, yeah? There's no imminent threat. What happens
No,
if...
I don't think so.
I mean, is Halo 5 on PC?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't.
Before they're doing their
think
whole
it
like
is.
exclusives on PC and stuff.
I
like
think
that,
that
yeah,
Halo
it was
5 came out
before that.
just before they started talking about. Yeah. I think it
Okay. I was going to say, because, like, if that started to take
Then that could be a problem.
PC fans away from Halo and into Installation 01, then that would be a problem.
Well, it's not like PC fans are
Riveting.
getting to play Halo at the moment. They can play Halo Wars 2 though. Wow,
Oh, wow.
magic.
Yeah, let's not.
I
set
mean,
in stone
I
that
think
it's
this is
gonna
more
be
of a case of just
here forever.
enjoy it
Yeah,
while
like
it's
they
still
said at the
around.
bottom that
There's no
legal
evidence to
action
suggest it's going
yet,
anywhere.
Essentially, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, I think. I think it's good. We see a
and they're
lot of
good.
fan-made
They're
things
good.
like this. I mean, the Pokemon games get a lot of things like this come out
Yeah.
every now and then.
Yeah, what was the one that came out recently? Uranium, was it? That came out a few months ago?
Uranium, which was allowed until they got a cease and
it
desist
was-
on the very day they released it.
Yeah, it was too
By
late
which
by that
point millions of people had already downloaded it, and you can get like
Yeah, it was a
copies
good
of it
game, and they
wherever you
added
go.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, wasn't that like
More Mega Evolutions
7
and
years
stuff
worth
like
of
that.
work or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Fans
It's a
make
nice
some
little
crazy
thing.
shit.
No,
I'll
but-
tell you what.
I have no
We've gone
power
too
here, I
late
was
into the
just
show. I can't bring up a new topic, can I?
Yeah, I mean, if you really want it, we can jet it. Fuck it. Go
I
on.
think I
Ever so
have. That
briefly.
sounds familiar.
Have you guys seen Skyrim Beyond Bruma?
I think I saw it, but I had
No,
no idea like
I'm not
what
even gonna
try and
it
lie
was.
here.
If it was like a Skyrim game or if it was like the
so
weird like card
awesome.
game they were coming out with the Elder Scrolls series or whatever. I didn't remember what it was. Oh, okay.
No. It's made by a modding team, and I think they get like Patreon donations or something. I don't know. They're funded somehow, I think. And they're doing a Beyond Skyrim series where they plan to like eventually work their way around a lot of the surrounding area around Skyrim, introducing new provinces and things, and you'll be able to go into Morrowind eventually, I suppose, and into High Rock and see the Bretons and the Orcs and all of that, and the Redguards. And they base it off of lore, but they basically create their whole new, like, so basically they've done Bruma so far, which is the and the area around it. So that's the northern part of Cyrodiil, which is where Oblivion is set. And basically they have loads of quests and stuff, and it's all really well voice acted. And basically the consensus is it's like official DLC. Like, it's really, really good.
Isn't that
that's
weird?
I remember seeing like a trailer for something, or
yeah.
It's weird that a group of people who are fans of a game can be that highly respected by the community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome at the same time. Don't get me wrong; it's completely awesome. But
it is awesome, and it's because they've really put the fucking work in. Like, they're legit people.
not fake people. Legit people.
No, they're not fake people. And that's one of the reasons why the paid mod system, if implemented right, I think is brilliant, because I would more than happily pay for that. And they're supposed to be bringing it to Xbox One soon, which when I will play it. I look forward to it.
Interesting.
Really awesome. I love everything about it. I hope they make a lot of money, and I hope they're able to keep doing it in all these different regions and things. I'd like to see.
Well, that's a great way to end with greatest
flourish.
Happiness.
Lovely. Very happy about it.
No.
awesome.
Just great news.
And anything,
Oblivion and I love it.
yeah, anything you want to
guess
say,
that's
Jared?
okay.
Do you want to add some happiness into the situation?
Because I've had it now. I was like, I've never played it, and I was like, oh wait, this is great.
Oh, I
I've never
recently
played
did a
it before. I
replay
just
of
started playing it.
Oblivion. How? Have you not?
Oh really?
My 11-year-old brother is addicted to Oblivion.
Ooh.
He just recently started playing it, and
The only
he did
Elder
not
Scrolls
stop
game I
for
had
about
played was Skyrim.
6
That was the first one I
hours
played.
or some shit. It was like 6 or 7 hours he was playing it for his
Nice.
first sitting.
Well, we better stop the podcast before pitchforks and fire starts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena.
Yeah.
This bloodletter will be going against another bloodletter from the blue team.
Yes.
Ah, I love Oblivion. Oh, gosh. I'm just so happy right now.
So,
Yeah, play
that was
Skyrim.
Play Skyrim, Ben.
another
Don't
very
be
long
annoyed.
podcast. It's on my PC. I have the remaster.
Fucking do it then.
Awesome. Oh yes, they're very different, but
Very, very different games. You basically, the first character you build is going to be fucked, because
it wasn't
the
like when
way
I
their
first
leveling
played it, there
system
was
works
no,
and everything
like,
is so
I just got
complicated
thrown in the game. I was like, I don't know
that
how
it's
to control
very hard to
menus.
make
My
an
character was all
optimum
like,
character.
it was difficult creating it and stuff like that as well too. And I was just like, huh, okay, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
The-
I don't
the
remember.
menus
One
are a
of
bit of a
those
nightmare.
human-esque ones.
But
what's the very
what
first
race
one?
have
It's
you gone with?
They're not called humans. Yes, that's what I went with.
Yeah,
I always go as
It's
like
probably
the lizard
Imperial.
race in Skyrim. I don't know what they're called.
yeah.
Yes, Argonian.
That's cute.
yes, but
Argonians.
Ben, you should jump on play Skyrim.
They're lovely boys.
really
I
fun.
love the Argonians. Ugh.
It's one of
I
those,
feel like
it's
I
one of those
have to
games,
now. I feel like I'm
this
not a
doesn't
part of
happen
this
with all open
conversation.
world
Skyrim
games, but
is
some of
actually
them, like when you give me an open world
really
and a lot
great
of stuff to
game.
do, I find myself just doing nothing and running around and just playing in the world and not progressing. Well, in story wise, but like leveling up, but not any story or anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Fallout
ran
New
around,
Vegas
killed
for
stuff,
me.
and got armor and
Yeah, New Vegas is a
caves,
lovely
but I don't think I
game.
ever touched any of the
I could
story
just-
of Skyrim.
Oh, did you hear the the guy who sings The Wanderer for Fallout 4 is suing Bethesda for using his song in their advert.
Really?
Because apparently his contract with the song means that he has to sign off any use of advertising. And apparently Bethesda didn't seek permission.
Oh no.
Or they got the permission from the wrong person or something. Basically, the guy who sings the song is supposed to sign off on any advertising use, and he didn't personally sign off.
Oh dear.
And now he's suing Bethesda.
Oh, legal technicalities. Yeah, this is the thing with like the legal system. All of these little, they can get you on just a clause of a contract, and then they can bleed you for loads of money. Even though all you did was sing a very happy song about how a man roams from town to town and lives life without a care. Oh, I really like that song, but I'll now always think of the fact that the man singing it is suing Bethesda.
Well, on that cheery note,
it was good to be back.
We should leave it there because it's been about an hour and 20 minutes.
It's good to be back.
It's been a nice reunited episode.
It has been nice to having Jared back. Yes.
I've missed him. He's such a lovely guy.
Well.
He's so knowledgeable about Nintendo.
Yeah, he is. And about the legal system.
I know.
Yes,
and marriage.
we'll go with that.
And marriage, yeah. You just know a lot, don't you, Jared?
Okay, well, yeah, as always, links to social stuff will be in the description and what have you.
Oh my, Ben.
What?
I'm just looking at Games Bulletin site because I was checking what episode we're on. You actually listed the last episode as episode 15 and the episode before that as episode 15.
No, I didn't.
You did. I'm looking at it right now. So this one's episode 17.
This is 17. Oh man, we need to do like a thing, like
that'd be amazing.
For the 50th episode or something. We should all like meet up and film it in a room.
Or
together.
Why don't you guys just come to California?
We could do it. We could do it.
Yeah, just come over here, Jared. It's not a problem.
I'll take
just
you
go.
to Los Angeles and you can see the buildings and such.
I'd love to come to California. I'd be so happy if I went to California.
There you go.
Oh, you could show us the sights and we film it and it'd be a Bulletin Boys vlog.
I mean, you could come to East London and I could show you the youth.
Yeah.
Which is what us English people call the youth.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I could bring you to Portsmouth and I'd show you where a man got stabbed last week. And the house that got robbed a few months ago.
England for the win.
Yeah. That's right.
There you go.
It's a curious kind of patriotism.
On second thoughts, I may come to California.
We have stabbing and robberies here as well too.
just for reasons.
Oh yes, we just
really? I thought there was no crime at all in America.
Religious beliefs and political beliefs, but we're good. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I didn't shoot him, officer. My gun's just very happy to see him.
Good guy with a gun. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to say about the petition about Far Cry 5. Yes, I actually think that it's actually in some ways right-wing lenient, because the whole philosophy of that game is that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun, which is the terrorist, is a good guy with a gun. It's the NRA's message. Because you're the good guy with the gun.
So it's pro-America.
It is pro-America, and it's pro-right-wing views. So all of the right-wing people who think they're threatened are stupid, and they should fuck off.
There we go.
It's got a message that everyone can get behind.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to accept it, Greg. I'm just going to nod and smile and just agree with what you're saying, yes.
Because it's 1 a.m. and you want to go to bed.
Kinda. I have to edit this audio before I go to bed, so...
Oh no, that's a nightmare.
I know.
Oh dear. Well, maybe we should stop prolonging it.
Going on, and it's great.
Oh, fuck it, it'll be alright.
So Jared, how was your marriage?
But it was good. We're 3 weeks deep and we're still going strong.
I'm glad.
I'm glad it's still a thing that's happening in your life.
I would be alarmed if it had ended between now and the beginning of the show.
She's just gonna catch him one
course
day. She's
not,
gonna like,
exactly.
you're avoiding all of these responsibilities, aren't you? I'll be like, no.
Yes, we will. Next time.
Right, let's end the show for the sake
Yes.
of poor Ben.
Yes, for the sake of poor Ben.
Yep.
Next time we will come back. Hopefully there'll be some more things to discuss.
Yep.
Failing that, I am going to start talking to people who I've met, developers and stuff, about being special guests. Obviously there was the guy, Jamie Jackson, I think. Jamie Jackson, I'm pretty sure his name was. He's an ex-AAA dev who I was talking to about getting on the podcast, about
that'd be
life as a
interesting.
dev, in
Nice.
the AAA world, and why he
There's gonna be
left
some
to become an
drama in
indie
our
dev.
Bulletin Broadcast.
Ooh, it's a story.
Yeah, Andy Antonio. Yeah, there's
Nice.
Andy Antonio as well, who's currently developing a game for VR. So I was thinking about talking to him about, like, how VR is going to progress and where VR is going, because he attends a lot of conferences about
definitely.
like the future of VR and its importance in
that-
gaming and stuff.
That'd be really fucking interesting, actually.
So
And you
and
always
then
have us.
we have
our
EGX in
wonderful
September,
banter.
so I'll more than likely meet more people there. I'll be repping. I'll be repping Games Bella.
I
as
want a
well. I'm
Games
gonna buy
Bulletin
some
hoodie.
hoodies for EGX, so I can walk around.
I will pay for a
with
Games Bulletin hoodie
merch.
and I will wrap it here.
I want a Games Bulletin hoodie. I'll pay for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna come up with a design and I'm gonna put it in the chat. And see
Yes.
what people think.
I want it.
It could be Jared's wedding ring with my face on the inside of it.
I mean, for all fairness,
I
my
would
ring
love
is
that.
not that
I would
exciting.
I want it
It's
too,
It's
actually.
silver,
I like that a
shiny-ish,
lot.
so, I mean, it's
I will
round.
come up with a design. Also something.
Nice.
Don't let the magpies get it. I don't know if magpies are a thing you Americans have,
No.
but they like shiny stuff. No?
You don't have magpies? Wow.
I feel like that needs a podcast episode all on itself. Like-
The magpie special.
The magpies, they're like little black and white birds that steal shiny
Oh.
stuff like jewelry and rings, and they take them to the nest for unknown reasons.
Yeah, I wonder evolutionary reasons why they acquire shiny things.
I don't know. I've always just kind of accepted it as fact. I always knew it was
It's
one of those things
where
like
they want to impress like mates or
Huh.
something with curious things.
maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I'm looking at your birds and
I'll ask
I don't have
one
any
and I'll
images
find
here.
out for you.
All right, you'll ask a magpie.
Hmm.
Could you interview a bird
That'd be-
and
I'd
put
watch
that
that.
on the channel? Just Ben trying to talk to magpies. I'd watch the fuck out of that. I'd share that everywhere.
I mean, leave a like if you want me to interview a magpie.
I'll leave a fucking
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys.
Alright. Let's leave it here because we're fetching for topics. And we will
Nice.
see you guys next time, which should hopefully be next
Oh
week.
gosh, we
but
gotta get out
next
of here
time,
before this continues anymore.
yeah.
Oh shit! I found a picture of magpies fighting.